Final 7 of the Volleyball Nations League Women's Division taking place in the vibrant city of Macau and China as we move through week 2 of the action. Second match of the day coming up as host China take on Thailand. Serbia having already beaten Poland by 3-1 in the game earlier today. Well, plenty for both squads to consider after yesterday's results. For Lang Ping, the Chinese coach, well, she'll be thinking about more experimentation today, bringing new players into the squad, and still missing Yuan Jinyue and Zhu Ting, both players away on other playing duties during the course of this week here in Macau. And as Lang Ping tends to do with her coaching philosophy, she will reward players who show real passion and commitment during the course of this week. So expect to see a couple of new faces in the lineup. Not sure we'll see Li Yingying in the number 12 shirt starting today. One of the star players of this Chinese team, just 18 years of age, but had some moments of inconsistency in yesterday's loss to Poland. So may have to do a bit of time on the bench. But a couple of other players came through really with flying colours yesterday. Both Hu and Duan looked very good, so expect to see them in action at some stage today. For Thailand, well, a 3-1 loss to Serbia. No great shame, they played very well, but they could have taken it to 5. It'd be good to see the woman in your picture, Anuma, on court. Likely that she'll get a start after playing really well from the bench. The experienced captain, 34-year-old Plumjit, is also going to be a key part of today's match, and she'll have a major role to play through the middle. But it's Acharapon who's been scoring very well for this Thailand team, who will be the player that really does underpin any kind of performance against China today. So China not quite at full strength, Thailand looking to cause them a few problems here in Macau. And in terms of the way things are going so far in the Volleyball Nations League, USA looking strong, Serbia racking up another win, they look strong, and Korea have done it again. They beat China 3-0 last week, they've beaten Russia 3-0 today, so Korea still ticking along very nicely indeed. From Thailand's point of view, it's got to that point already in this inaugural Volleyball Nations League season where they really do need a victory today against China. It's going to be tough, but they'll feel that they've got chances. Both captains then just doing the toss and signing the score sheet. Thailand it was in the end that won the toss. So they chose to serve, and that's got a lot to do with the fact that service and defence will be the key for Thailand today. And their middle blocker, Captain Plumjit, knows exactly that. Teams just about to come out on court for the anthems, an introduction as well to the crowd. This pair of teams have met quite a bit over the years in all sorts of different competitions, especially in the Asian zones in terms of qualification for Olympics and Asian Games. China tend to have the upper hand in almost every single encounter, but occasionally Thailand do push China all the way and make them earn their win. Plenty of fans in the crowd here in Macau cheering for Thailand. They're a really popular team in this part of the world, full stop. The Thailand women's programme has been very much a part of Thailand sport now for well over 2 decades. And it's great to see some of the original players still around and involved in the setup, but also a whole new group of young names coming through and competing on the world stage. From China's point of view, same sort of thing really. Some of the veteran players, part of that squad that took the gold in the Olympic Games in Rio, still very much featuring in Lang Ping's plans, but she will have her eye focused very firmly on 2020 in Tokyo, and trying to get new players through, like this player Hu, who came on yesterday from the bench, Hu Min-yua, who played through the middle and showed real commitment and verve. A little bit rough around the edges in terms of her technique, but showed absolutely no signs of being fazed by being on the court amongst some seriously good players. So Hu gets a start, not surprisingly, after her efforts yesterday. And so does Duan. Showed exactly the same aggression when she came on court. Received well, served well, and when asked to do so, attacked aggressively. So Duan gets a start as well. And the other player that impressed me, Gong, starts on the bench, but she may get a shot in the opposite position. For 31-year-old Sitara Anuma, been in the squad almost right from the start. since she was 14 years of age, started competing with this Thailand team, but in recent seasons hasn't had as much court time as she possibly would like. But yesterday, brought on from the bench in the opposite position, and Anuma was every bit as good as we remember her being. She played superbly yesterday, as did the captain, Thongkhap Lumjit, 34 years of age now, but brought some real blocking force to the game against Serbia. So both teams getting off to a losing start here in Macau. China with that 5-set loss, 3-2 to Poland. Thailand going down 3-1 to Serbia. So a win is very much on the cards for both teams today. China come into this game as favourites, but we know Thailand are going to try and push them all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our team's national anthems? First, the national anthem of Thailand. Take a look, each of the Thai Volleyball. And now, the national anthem of China. 一直唱中国国歌。
Team's just about ready to go then, the officials to be introduced to the crowd, and then we'll find out who the two coaches have decided to go with for the start of this match. I suspect some changes from the original lineups in yesterday's games. Referees first of all, by tradition, introduced to the crowd before taking their positions on court. Sumi Myoy will be the first referee operating from the stand.
The second referee from United Arab Emirates, Mr.
And from the UAE, Ismail Ibrahim will be the second official. Had a good game yesterday. A couple of tricky situations that he had to deal with, but dealt with them well. Two very experienced FIVB referees coming through a highly developed system which produces officials to serve volleyball across the world. And they should have a cracking game to be officiating today, because this promises lots of rallies, lots of all-out action. Thailand very much the exponents of keeping a point going. Serve tough, defend hard, and see what you can get from the game. Plumjit then will start as the captain and middle blocker. Number 5, most experienced and oldest player at 34 years of age in this Thailand lineup. Sitira Anuma will be starting in the opposite position. Sitira got a start because of the way she played yesterday, very impressive. Ataya, the other middle blocker, along with Plumjit, number 7. And Thongkhap Nusara, experienced veteran setter, gets the nod to start this game ahead of Györpar Porpon. Another player will be starting in the outside position, and Jarapon, I think duties through that opposite hitting right side of the court will be shared with Anuma. Jarapon at the moment leading the scoring for Thailand, looking to score heavily today, and it's Pianot Pranoi will be the libero to start. Coach Danai delighted with the way his team played yesterday. Felt they were a little unfortunate in places not to take Serbia all the way to 5. For China, looking to recover from that shock defeat to Poland, starting in the opposite position, left-hander in the number 3 shirt, Yang Fangxiu. Number 10 shirt, Liu Xiaotong, the captain, wing spiker, the setter, Ding Jia. Number 16 came on quite impressively in yesterday's game. Runs a really good offense and good to watch. Yan Yi, one of the older players in this Chinese lineup, gets a call up to come back to play through the middle because of the absence of Yuan. And then the two firecrackers that really did cause so many problems when they came on court yesterday for Poland from the bench, Duan and Hu. Both earned themselves a place on the court for China today, courtesy of what they did yesterday. And from the libero point of view, in the different coloured shirt, the defensive and passing specialist, Wang Mengji, has got the nod to start this game ahead of Lin Li, one of the world's most well-known volleyball coaches, Jenny Lang Ping, back in charge of China now for a good number of years, but has travelled the world coaching this sport. So from Thailand's point of view, all part of the development of this team, the chance to experience international volleyball at the highest level. That's the starting lineup. Key to today's performance is probably Nutsara in that setting position. Anuma's got to have a good game, and Charapon has got to keep scoring highly for this Thailand team. For China, well, it's a case of a win is a must, really, today. Chinese press will tolerate so much experimentation, and even from someone as revered as Lang Ping, they still want to see victories. So a little bit of pressure on this starting lineup for China today. And remember, they still have Li Yingying waiting in the wings. The 18-year-old superstar could still make an appearance in this match if required. The flow of this game, more than likely to be China putting the pressure on Thailand, but Thailand defending for all they're worth to keep that ball alive and prolong these rallies and try and force errors from this Chinese team. Thailand then in the white, playing from left to right in set 1. It's going to be Siterak Anuma with the first serve. Best of 5 sets match. 25 points the target in the first 4 sets, but if we do go 2-all and we do go to a decider, as we did yesterday with China and Poland, then it's just 15 in that tiebreaker set. And away we go, Thailand v China here in Macau. Great start, and that will be one blessing for China today. They won't have the same block height that they had to face against Poland yesterday. So accurate setting, good high contact points, and China will feel they can really go all out in attack at the net. First point on the board then for the home team. Followed swiftly by the second. Now, looked a little messy, didn't it, from side on, from the captain Liu, but that was a very deliberately played off-pace shot. Just rolls the hand over the top of the ball. Fingers involved a little bit, but that was the plan, to get that down quickly with no power. Free ball China, good start for the home side. And the good start just gets better. Good effort from Tom Nutsara to defend the ball. Just couldn't keep that in play, the 32-year-old Fenerbahce player. A couple of the Thailand players play overseas. Anuma has played for JT Marvelous in Japan for a long time now. China let Thailand off the hook. Still a solid start though, 3-1. Crowd getting what they've come to see today. Good, strong Chinese performance. Tire. Little blocker for Thailand with the serve. No, 2 touches. Or a carry. You can choose whatever you want from that one. And the first official, Sumi Miyoi, decides that the ball was carried. So just dwelled in the hands of the Chinese setter for a little bit too long there. Thailand's turn to miss from the service line. But it's always the same demand for Thailand. If they don't serve tough, the ball comes back with interest. So they will go after these serves. Sometimes takes a bit of time to settle down. Chalaporn just asking the referee to consider a touch. Tom Komnitsaru, who's usually pretty shrewd about these things, decides that she did see the ball touch the Chinese block. So we've got our first challenge of the game. It's from Thailand. The question is, did this shot from Chalaporn hit the fingers of the Chinese blocker? If it did, it's Thailand's point. If it didn't, China will go 5-2 as indicated on the board. Dane, as he's known, watching on from the side, just getting a little chance to speak to the team there as this decision is made, and that looks well clear of the Chinese hands. No touch confirmed. Point China. Score remains as it is. Thailand wants to challenge. That's not like Nutsara. She's usually spot on with those calls. It's going to be a double touch or carry. Same for the Thailand setter. Sarah just mishandling the ball. Subjective decision by the referee, but this one was quite easy to see. Just pinballing about between fingers and hands. Got to be a clean contact, simultaneous, or as near as it can be with both hands when you volley the ball like that. Great start. Lovely quick attack to Yanni in the middle. Nice off pace from Yu. Good early points for this Chinese team. That'll just settle them down a bit. That'll be Thailand's problem. If this Chinese team can play relaxed, play without pressure, then they're going to be a very, very difficult team to beat today. Thailand timeout comes to an end, 6-2 China. Good rescue here from Thailand. Block out, Thailand point, good rally. Said it yesterday when Hu Mingyuan came on in the middle. She's just a bundle of energy. She's playing like this is her first ever school tournament. She's loving it out there on court. Overpass, easy for Thailand to play. Oh, and a good stop. And one captain shuts down the other captain. Yu blocks Moonjit's slide D attack. Nicely done. Serve. Nice little side tandem play, so combinations can either be about putting the ball to different zones on the net. Sometimes it can be about just trying to affect the timing of the blockers. So 2 Thailand attackers into the air very quickly, one after the other, before Chalaporn put that away. accurate Chinese team have players on court that are still finding their way into world volleyball. And Hugh just getting a little excited on that shot, hitting it wide. So Thailand composing themselves in this first set, back in business now. And a good serve from Acharapon. She's serving a long way from the back line. You can do that. You can serve right back to the advertising hoardings. And the value of that is that the ball will travel and move over quite some distance. It can cause real problems. Although I think Chinese receive there, cause their own problems. Needs an early call. Take the ball. Well done. Brilliant pick-up from Acharapon. And Anuma, with that lovely hitting action of hers, trying to go past the block, but instead goes straight into the hands of Hu Mingyuan. 2 good points for China. In fact, it was a 3-woman block, so it missed Hu. Ended up going just that little bit further. So first technical timeout of the opening set. Coaches really do enjoy that first opportunity to just get to the players and talk, because first 10 minutes or so, it's very difficult. Feels like the game is all going on around you, especially if the players aren't really executing the game plan. Here in Macau, majority of support behind the home side, but Thailand have a fair contingent of supporters here. Take a bit of time for these rotations to settle down, then we'll start to see where the real point scoring opportunities are for both teams. This looks like a decent enough front court lineup for China. Very interestingly, wherever possible, China are trying to stack a 3-woman block out on the wing attackers. The reason that they're able to do that is because the pass from Thailand isn't quite good enough into the middle. Problem when you're trying to involve all 3 front court players in the block. If you do get a transition play, sometimes you haven't got a hitter left. So backline offense used. And nicely dispatched by the skipper Liu. Even better lineup for China now. Ding Jia comes to serve, the setter, the smaller player on court. Talk about getting away with it. Hataya runs the slide D. There wasn't really a connection with Nutsara, but somehow managed to get a fingertip on that ball. Just trickles over. Be careful when you tip the ball like that you don't throw it. You're on the edge of doing that, but nicely executed through the middle. Duan to serve. Numa says in, Chinese players say out, the officials go with the Thailand attacker. Thailand trying to run a nice offense there. Play they use quite a lot, the inside split, but that was just to offer something else for the blockers to look at. They still fed Anuma, and she's found another serve. So Thailand starting well from the service line. That's 3 points overall for Anuma already. Stick that with the serve as well from Acharapon. 2 ace serves. This Chinese passing unit is under pressure again. Great defence, both sides of the net. Oh, super finish. That's a quite fantastic spike from Pimpachaya. Great work. Both teams really defending for all they're worth. And as more spaces appeared, Pimpachaya has drilled that. Chinese team trying to play a combination, not a great set from Ding. That's a super spike though from Anuma into the corner. Oh, that's what her hitting action allows her to do, because she's not the tallest player. She caps the ball beautifully, hits with a very straight arm, and it allows her to guide it into the corners and onto the lines. And she does it really well, even against the biggest blocks in the world. And Thailand have turned this game around in set one. Same problems for China though. No, Lang Ping is talking about the block there to Liu, but my concern would be the fact they are just not receiving service very well at all. They struggled with it yesterday against Poland, and they've made a really weak start in service reception against one of the strongest serving teams here in Macau, Thailand. Good start, trying to find themselves 2 points down, and that's not really what Thailand needed, and Anuma knows it with all her experience. Decided to take a much more risky serve on to the line, but has missed it. Just immediately puts her team under pressure. Yan Ni with the serve. Great height, beautiful hit. And Kongyot Charapon is at it again. 35 points in 3 games in week 1. Contributed well again yesterday. That's a terrific hit. It's long, no touch on the block. Liu's missed. Thailand pick up another point. Amazing how quickly things change after a solid start. China have really lapsed here. It's very close to another fault on the set, but the referee allowed it. No, it's gone to 2 touches, so the whistle did go for Ding Jia. But in fairness to the Chinese setter, the service that she's getting from the passes is terrible. Another tight one. Oh, that's good use. That is such a difficult ball to hit, and Kokoro Pimpachaya has done it quite brilliantly. Any ball that comes from behind you and across you, to get that kind of timing, that's reward for the hours and hours of training that this Thailand team put in. And it feels already like this Chinese team is on the back foot. Just a reminder that they have options. They can keep young Fang Zhu on through the opposite position and bring Li Yingying probably in to replace Duan. And if Yang still can't find a way into this match, then they've got Gong Jianghu also on the bench. Gong was particularly impressive yesterday. Very powerful opposite hitter. Thailand's woman of the moment, Sitirak Anuma. We can forget the missed serve. Just concentrate on the points she's scored so far, 6 at the moment. Big heavy hit, well defended by Anuma. And an even heavier hit from Yang. Oh, she's absolutely crowned that one. It's very straightforward. If China have control of this ball, if they're getting it into the setter, Ding Xia, then that's the kind of power we'll see from the Olympic champions. Good pick up, and it's in. Oh, that's a genius play. A pancake pickup, so you're laying on the floor with your hand flat on the floor and it bounces off the back of your hand and into play. But not only that, it bounces off of Yang's hand over the net and into court. Unbelievable. Good set. What a good set. And it works almost like a combination. Tomkom Nutsara had gone to the reverse and Pimpachai hadn't been able to get through. And just as China thought, well, she's going to set somewhere else, she goes back to the same hitter and Pimpachai does the job. Side D from Hugh, not been as effective at the moment in this match as she was against Poland. That's more like it. And there's that excitement that I talked about. Hugh Mingyuan plays with. I know this Chinese team haven't got sleeves on the shirts, but she really does play with her heart on her sleeve. But China can't over-celebrate these points because they're still 3 behind. Good pass. Oh, that's not so good from Nutsara. And you know what? They've got away with it. Duan this time hitting wide of the court. It's a really good pass into Nutsara, and she chose to go over on 2, but just misplayed it. Thailand get away with it. Challaporn to serve. 4 points the advantage. Oh, nearly dipped. That's what she was trying to do. Hit a high trajectory to the back line and then just drop it down, but overcooked it. This just isn't happening for China at the moment. Came back too flat off the defender for Anuma to play it on. So trying to get the point. It's good setting from Ding Xia. On the edge at the moment with the way this Chinese pass is working, but she's getting some decent balls up to the attackers. Another great pass from Thailand, but easily read. That link between Nutsara and Hataya was an excellent one yesterday against Serbia, but that was telegraphed a little bit. Duan read it easily. Very nicely time block. Thailand timeout. Ice being applied to the top of Nutsara's shoulders. That's got more to do with overheating than injury. When you do play in a warm arena, it's very easy to get too hot, so a little bit of ice applied to the top of the shoulders, base of the neck. It just reduce the core temperature and make you feel a bit more comfortable out there. 2 points in it. Ding Xia serve. Oh, a good serve. Two libero players operating for Thailand, Pianat Panoi and Parej Sipatra. That was Panoi, who's normally so reliable. Now, interesting substitution for Thailand. Looks like they are bringing, or have brought in, Willavan. Beautiful shot, wonderful pickup. Pianat in to bump that set up, but China get the ball into transition again. What a great set from Ding Jia. Good pickup from Duan. Oh, it's still in play. No, has come back outside the antenna. Now, Thailand think there should have been a continuation here, but referee very firmly says no, that came outside the antenna. So therefore unplayable by Thailand, so that's fine to blow the whistle. China back on level terms. How about that for a hit? How about that for a pickup? World class from both players. And Duan commits to the floor, followed by that thumping spike from Yang. But had to think twice here, because as that ball span away off the hands, that's a decent touch from Pianat, but it came back outside the antenna, and therefore didn't count. Had to pass between those two antennae on the net. Sloppy from China. Good pick up, beautiful stuff in the backcourt. Well, let's give that point to the Chinese libero. That was some commitment. Wang Wenji once again hitting the floor for some great defence. And then a little bit of space for the captain, Liu, to get that ball away for China's advantage. Thailand substitutions. Here comes Chachio Moksri, and also the setter that didn't get the nod for the start of this game, Gurpai Pornpun, is on. 25-year-old Bangkok glass player. A lot of big industry teams out in Thailand that make up the professional league. A couple of shopping malls sponsor teams as well. It's a decent career to be had for the players. The substitution initially hasn't worked. Chachio Moksri with the hit into the block. I watched the number 19 in the warm-up, and she gets really high, absolutely crunches the ball off the floor. But that's a warm-up hit. Put a block in front, and it's a little bit of a different story. Good try from Anuma, but great hands from Yang Fanju. Monster block, signalled by fans and Chinese team alike. And this was an absolute monster. Anuma's battered that. That's a great shutdown. She enjoyed it as well. There's a way to go in this set still. Points to find for China, but Thailand not too far back. Long. Thailand point, and after all that excitement of the block, Ding Jia commits the cardinal sin and just fires the next serve out of court. 2 points in it. Nutsara, Thailand setter, back on court. Decent pass. Good block. Well, it was a nice pass. It was a really well-played attack. But Yang, with the ball a little bit low, got straight into the hands, and it's Thailand's turn to celebrate the monster block. It was. That was cracking stuff from Anuma. Really good try from Nutsara to keep that alive, but hitting the fingers and the floor, so that counts as a down ball. China point. 2 required. And It's going to be challenged. Worth a go. I think this is more to do with slowing the game down. So Coach Danai had a challenge in the locker. Why not use it? So he's just going to ask the question, did that ball actually contact the floor, or did it hit the back of Nutsada's hand and come back into play legally? If it did, we replay the point. It didn't, as you can see from that replay. Good effort, though, from Nutsara. Full commitment there. But that is down. And I promise you, that had nothing to do with a genuine look at whether that was a pick-up. That was just a bit of savvy coaching from the Thailand number one. Just saying, let's take a pause here. Doesn't matter that he's lost the challenge, doesn't matter the points gone against him. He's managed to stop the game, give his team a bit of breathing room. 23-21 China lead. Duan with the serve. Good work. And Nanuma gets it on the floor, but via the antenna by the looks of it. So Chinese point. Great bit of work from Wang Menji, the Chinese libero, in the middle of that rally. The libero, yeah, there we go, out off the antenna. The libero not allowed to volley the ball up for the attackers in front of the 3-meter line, so she jump set into that zone. That was impressive. 3 set points. First one goes begging for China. That was, again, pretty ill discipline from Duan. 2 set points still, though, and they've got the chance to attack off this Anuma serve, but she served well in the last rotation, and that's another cracker. It's coming back, but Thailand can attack this. Still in play. Brilliant. Oh, this is great stuff from both teams. And Nanuma gets it down. In fact, that's Willavan, my apologies. Willavan onto court, one of the more experienced players in this Thailand lineup. Doesn't get a lot of court time these days, but good to see her back through that wing position. The 33-year-old from the Supreme Volleyball Club. And now Thailand have got some real chances here, and China have got some thinking to do. 1 set point left, so Lang Ping decides to call the timeout just to reset the focus. They're having real problems with these deeper flat serves. Wang Wenji is struggling at the moment, the libero. Now, can they put the same kind of pressure on again? What a kill from Willavan. Change possibly here as Wang just pushes a few players into a different position, give herself a good sighter on this Anuma serve, which is coming from a long way back. That's the pass. And that is the kill. That is a really sweet attack. Very cleverly done. And completely fooled the Thailand block to give Yanni a clean sight of the court. So emphatic finish from China here. Very nicely done. Don't see those often. That was quite old school, but worth the watch. China go 1-0 here in Macau. As you always get with these two teams, entertaining volleyball. Thailand did very well there to stay in the mix and really force the issue with this Chinese team. But in the end, China with just that little bit too much in the locker. And that will be the problem for Thailand if the Chinese passing unit starts to deal with the services from Thailand. China very much the stronger attacking team. And in terms of what China are doing with their serve, well, they really are trying to get that ball across to the right side of the court as they look at it, left-hand side for Thailand. That's been the main focus, which is quite unusual. Normally, with the one-setter system, the penetrating setter, you would be serving quite a lot of traffic into one. But China clearly with a plan, with that kind of cluster of balls going onto that side of the court. But didn't seem to benefit them too much. China then 1-0 up here in Macau, but just did it. Just got it across the line and did so with a really good final play. That was a nice hit from Yan Ni, clever little plan. As always, when the teams come back out onto court, you're looking to see if any changes have been made. That looks like the same starting six for China. So Duan and Hu keep their places on court. Ding Jia will be the playmaker, the setter. China have plenty of options if they need to use them. For Thailand, Captain Plumjit retains her place. I thought Willavan did a good job coming on from the bench to see if the veteran can keep her place. But if she doesn't, I'm sure she'll be involved again at some point. And away we go. Set 2, China in the red, playing from left to right, and we start with a handling fault, carried by Nutsara. Ball has to be in and out of the hands quickly. It mustn't dwell in the hands. If you think about it, if you're allowed to do that, then you could virtually catch the ball, wait to see which way the blockers went, and then just ping it out in a different direction. So the officials very, very tight on those handling rules. Well, they don't use it much, that attack, Thailand, but when they do use it, it's quite effective. Chattapon not attacking from the backcourt through the middle zone or through 10 on the reverse, but attacking almost through position 4 in the front court. It jumps so far into that front zone. Good serve as well. Great hustle here from Thailand, and they've got the reward. Pembachaya puts it away. Brilliant from Thailand. And that's how they play their volleyball. So committed in defence. Not quite this time. Numa scuttling back, but just couldn't get enough of a hand on that one to bring it back into play. Good kill from Liu. China know they're in a game though. Thailand will not go away. Mistiming that one though, unfortunately. He returns the favour, this time with the service error. Big shot, great pickup. And again from Liu. Oh, she's starting to find her range now, is the Chinese captain. Didn't play enough of a role in yesterday's match in their 3-2 loss to Poland, but starting to have an influence here. Two great angles Second one successful. Fang with the serve. Well, this can't keep happening for China. They've got to get something in court. The latest player to miss. All the coaches will know it just disrupts your rhythm if you can't get serves in on a regular basis. This time, Liu biting off a little more than was necessary with that spike. Thailand nudge into the lead. Nice set. Nice set from Ding Jia. Through the hands very quickly. Nice flat trajectory, but at the right height to Hu Mingyuan. Players make it look so easy, but if this set goes wrong, you get left looking rather silly, because it just flies past the attacker and nothing happens, but that was perfectly executed. And so was that. Good pick up from China, though. And a good block. Third time of asking. It's going to be a fourth go. No. China have the ball. And the point. And that's the kind of rally that can steal a team. Thailand getting a dose of their own medicine there. And you can see how hard some of the players are breathing down there on court. That was a beautiful rally. A mega rally, as we call them, on the Volleyball Nations League. Another good pick up from Meng. But overcooked from the back line, this time from Liu. Still no sign of the youngster Lee Young coming into the play. Offensively in the front line, this game would have suited her, but I think Thailand would have pushed her on the serve. Duan goes off the hands and out for the point. Classic wipe-off hit. Lang Ping enjoyed it. Hu Mingyuan to serve. A little variation on the play that we see quite a lot from Thailand. That's normally an inside split, so a little bit of a gap between the middle player and the middle and the setter, and the outside hitter comes in between the two. But this time, Anuma runs around the back and ends up hitting something more akin to a slide D. That was really effective. Chinese blockers getting in all sorts of bother, and Anuma's done it again. Follows up a great point with a fault serve. First technical timeout of set 2 arrives, and still really nothing between these two teams. A word from Lang Ping to her captain. She needs Liu to really step up here. She needs Yang as well through the opposite position to take some responsibility. If they can provide the main source of attacking points for China, fed by Ding Jia, then the rest should take care of itself. Tips, easy pick up for Thailand. Tip and response from Anuma, dealt with by China. Hammered up to the ceiling. No. 2 times in a row with that attack drawing the ball in towards the middle, and the blockers were waiting for it this time. That added element of the combination not available with a second player in the air. Well read by Yanni, well finished by the middle blocker. Zhao to serve, 3 tall blockers in front court for China. And the ball contacting the net outside the antenna. Point to China, and now they have opened up a little cushion here in set 2. Touch, great pick up from Liu. Duan's getting herself in a bit of a pickle, spiking at the moment. The number 20 for China is a bit off balance. It's a golden opportunity to put that away, and instead got all out of shape in the air and allowed Thailand to pick the ball up. Tremendous work from Thailand. One-handed pick up from Pianut onto the setter's head. Duan again. The nicest of points to watch, but effective. That's the light and shade of the sport. Sometimes you get a finesse play like that, gently crafted points. Sometimes you get that all-out power, both ends of the spectrum. And sometimes you get a bit of luck as well. China will take that. Duan for China is even noisier than Hu. For a team that aren't always particularly loud down there on court, China, those two players really do stand out in terms of motivating those around them. Timeout called by Thailand. China get too far away from them here. It's a wise choice just to stop the play. So we've seen quite a bit here in Macau. Teams are able to come back 3 or 4 points down. You can close that quite quickly. Thailand have to start by siding the ball out, so good pass required. Not bad. And that'll do. Mutsara to Hataya through the middle. Little tip ball from Hataya. Point scored. Superb. Chaya on the reverse. Once you just get into the air and then hold the position in the air, that allows a really solid spike. Good pick up, this will come back. Nicely recycled by China. And there it is again. That wonderful attack. Hataya runs the decoy. And on this occasion, it's Chadeon who comes in from the sideline to hit through the middle. That's sweetly done. Look how quickly that gap has been closed, and Lang Ping will be just beside herself. She's very good at not giving too much of that emotion away, but she's pretty angry with the players here because they built themselves the lead. And really, all that's let them down is their ability to get this ball to the setter with control. Everything at the moment is coming into Ding Jia flat and fast. And it's just just not quite allowing her to do what she wants to do with the ball. Same can be said for Thailand. It's been a bit messy on that side of the net as well. It's a very inventive attacking from Thailand. Has got the ball away for a couple of times, despite the Chinese defence. That was one of the attacks of the game. Brilliant. And when you start to play these combination attacks, it just opens up spaces elsewhere on the net. Pretty straightforward, be quick from Ataya. And a very late reaction from Yang Fanju, the Chinese blocker. Sara to serve. Strong front line for Thailand. Sara again forced to defend. A little bit slack from her. It's blocked, and Thailand, incredibly, since that timeout, have reversed their fortunes in this set, moving into the lead 13-12. And the ace serve to follow. It's just the way this game has felt. It's the way the Chinese performances have felt so far in Macau. They're only one service run away from a group of poor passes. And suddenly they've let the opposition back in. Well, it's a point. It'll have to do. But it's not great volleyball from China. In the old days, we'd have been shouting for a throw for that one. It looked a little bit dubious. Thailand respond immediately. Chatuon continues her decent attacking game. Pimpachaya at the moment is the leading scorer with Anuma. Anuma on 7, Pimpachaya on 6. Solid from you. That's what they need from her. Much more in this match. Still think that's a good safety outlet for China. Take them a little bit of pressure off the pass. Get it into the middle of the court. Just go to Liu and go to Yang. Pick up from Yang. Liu again. Nice. Good work from Pianut. Good rally. Proper rally there. Both teams hitting hard and defending quite superbly in the back line. Once again, another little grouping of points and a change in momentum, swinging back in favour of this Chinese team. Pick up of the game, but it's not going to be a continuation. It's a huge hit from Anuma. Wang Wingji in the right place at the right time and sprawling to the floor. Just too much power on that ball. Second technical timeout arrives. Thailand 1 point in the lead, but that doesn't mean much at this level. 2 points is where you need to be. It's a mini break, effectively. Except you're doing it with your service, so a little different to tennis. There's that combination that's so good to watch. There's the other side of that combination, the fact that the Chinese blockers were waiting for the second phase and it didn't come. First phase attack just as effective. Both teams settling down now, and with the exception of the fact the passes from that serve reception still look a little shaky on both sides of the net. We're starting to see some good volleyball here. Liu, I think, remains the player that China have to look to stabilise this offence. Looks like she'll get it here. No, gone on the reverse to Hugh. That's a good set, and a brave set as well. Yu Ming Yuan hasn't done too much for the last set or so. But still on court, so might as well make use. Very expansive reverse play to the middle player. Oh dear. Bit of a mix-up on the throw, but service okay, and ball is long off the block. Another point, Thailand. That's up. This should come back, but Thailand are going to get to attack this one. There it is again. But it looks like Tomkom Nutsara, the setter, has just stepped over the centre line or touched the net with her arm. That's unlucky. All three Chinese blockers lined up on that, still couldn't stop it. So Thailand's going to just take a bit of a chance here and challenge this. It was the second official that said the infringement happened by the Thailand setter. So now we're going to see as Nutsara comes in for this set, does she get too close to the net or the centre line and either touch the net or step over the centre line? If that didn't happen, we go back, play the point again. So here we go. Collapses into the net, and there it is. Elbow touches first, then the hair and the back of the arm brush down the net. Great look at that attack though, wasn't it? That's how it should work, even with the Chinese players lined up and waiting. China now need to kick on. They really do. Lovely stuff. Really good from Nutsara. And because of the work that she's done in establishing some lines of attack, she can afford to do things like this. Still mostly working against single blockers through the middle. Good shot. Oh, that's a brilliant shot, and China really needed that as well from Liu. They were in all sorts of trouble in that rally, somehow got it into transition. And then Liu knew that this had to be hit, and hit accurately. Brilliant shot. No. Off the hands of Yang Fangzhu. Could have played it again, that's perfectly legal, but just didn't react in time. Plumjit to serve. Had a relatively quiet game, the Thailand captain, but will be pleased with the way the team is going. More mistakes from China. And nearly a mistake from Thailand on the free ball, but Nutsara saves it. And again, Thailand have a chance here. It's a good set from Nutsara. While we were watching that replay, Captain Plumjit has missed the serve. One point in it. It's a vital point though. Move this forward to 24-23 and Thailand will be attacking for the set. So they need to keep siding out. And a net touch on Yan Ni. exuberant in the block. Chinese middle player. That's a free point to Thailand. China mustn't let Thailand get any further ahead. Good work from Thailand. And again, genuine chance here. Out off the block. And a fantastic hit from Chachuan. Well, Gong is in. Young Fanju has really gone off the boil, so the new opposite player is on. I like the look of Gong yesterday. I thought she looked very good. And immediately gets the set to prove why she should be on court. That is a spike and a half. Talk about pressure. Arm from the bench, gets the feed, and demolished that one. 2 points for China to find. Yan Ni with the serve. Good save from Nutsara, and still has the presence of mind to continue with that combination. And it's causing China so many problems. Wing hitter coming in off the wing, runs in between the middle player and the setter, and just has the angles to work with. Beautiful set from Nutsara. Another service error from Thailand. It's fortunate they're in a position where actually they don't need to get another serve in. They can win this on side out, they can win it on serve reception and attack. Gong. Good serve. Free ball this for China. And no, just a free point. Chai hitting it outside the antenna. He's got to pass between the red and white sticks to be in play. Thailand timeout. As things get very tight once again. Suggests plunge it. Been there, seen it, done it. The veteran captain of this Thailand team. Away we go then. Will the timeout be effective? Thailand need to kill this ball. Was going to get the set, and she's missed the court, and the job is done from the point of view of the comeback for China. They are right back in business now in this second set. Quick word from the most experienced player on court at the moment, Ding Xia, to the new opposite player, Gong. But that's a lot of information for the young opposite player to take on board ahead of this serve. Sometimes you can overload the player. Got to concentrate on the service technique still. And she does. Good pass though. China have got it. And there's the point. Willavan stops and looks at the libero Pianut when maybe she could have played that. And just like in the first set, China maneuver their way past. Liu steps up when it counts. You wouldn't argue with Ding Xia, would you? She's a great setter. But more than that, she's a really good boss down there on court, runs the show. That might have been going long, but a good pass. Great finish. Reverse set to Pimbachaya, who does it again. This is an exquisite hit. Thailand make sure that we continue with this set. 2 clear required. There's the first of them for China. No, it's wide. Just thought for a moment referee was going to signal in, but it did look wide of the court. Probably worth a challenge. And Thailand have decided that is the case. Well, it's going to be close. But officials and line judges don't think it's going to be close enough. We will find out. Oh, just out. Millimetres out. Good try from Thailand, but China once again given set point. The first set was tight, this one's even tighter. Thailand then have to kill this ball to continue with the set. Trouble. China can do it here. 2-0 China. Great shot from Duan. And Anuma just couldn't get out the way. It's not an easy win by any means. But just when it matters, in the business end of these sets, China are doing enough. 25-23 in the first set, 26-24 in the second. And China go 2-0 up on Thailand here in Macau. Well, it ain't over until it's over, as they say. And despite the fact that China are 2 sets to love up, each set has been very close. 26-24 in the second. But Thailand, as you can see from those stats, doing enough to cause their opponents, their illustrious Olympic champion opponents, some serious problems. And you wouldn't bet against Thailand playing themselves back into this game. China are going to have to be very, very careful here. What Lang Ping will be very pleased with, the Chinese coach, is the fact that her players are young players playing in rotations that they won't have really experienced a lot before at this level. With new players on court, have coped very well with the situation, and under pressure in the points of the match when it really mattered, they've come up with the goods. Thailand then must continue to believe that there is something in this game for them. But at the moment, staring down the barrel of 2 defeats here in Macau. China lead 2-0. Thailand serve to get set 3 underway. And they start it with a pretty handy block. Young Zhang has kept her place on court, the number 6 opposite player for China, ahead of Yang Fanzhou. Great hit. Might see an apology from Liu here, just to make sure everything's okay with Nutsara, who she's been playing against for years now. You see it now and again, that one just catching Nutsara high in the chest, but you do see players hit in the face with some of these powerful spikes. Beautiful. What a turn from Hataya. Got into the air, saw the block was there on the power line and just cut it back inside. Good to see Willivan on court. She's got a start in this set. Lively start here. In fact, it's number 15 for Thailand, Malika Kanthong, that is on from the start, so change for Thailand. Doing what she has to do for Team China to get this match over and done with. Get a number of opportunities to hit in this third set, and she's got to be almost perfect. Very nice. I don't know if you saw that, but Human Yuan, the middle blocker for China, actually jumping with the Thailand middle player. So by the time the ball went wide, plenty of space for the hit. Tired to serve. And it's a good serve. Duan with the passing error, and the problems in the backcourt for China continue. So they had to be careful. But they've already given up an early advantage to Thailand, and it's a good cushion of 3 points. Shot. Good responsibility there from the captain. Liu took over in the pass. Took the ball away from Juan and just got it into the setter. And that's when China look at their best. Good finish from Liu on this slide D. And that is a beautiful spike from Acharapon. Been a while since she's really been involved. Solid today, but not been a key attacker. That's more like it from her. Absolutely unleashed that spike. It's Malika Kanthong. And the ball played by a backcourt attacker, but from in front of that 3-meter line, so effectively gone straying into the front court. If she wants to do that, she's got to jump from behind the 3-meter line. Cheap point again for Thailand, they'll take it. And another one. Good serve though, very good serve. Malika Kanthong into the fray in this third set, made a real impression. And Lang Ping just not happy with the body positions of these Chinese players. Suggestion there that it's reflecting lack of real focus at the start of this set. Liu remains strong for China, the captain now on 12 points. Was the best of them. Ferocious hit down the line to knock Nutsara off her feet, followed by the quick apology. Work workload being spread in the Thailand team. So Anuma on 8 points, Satire on 8 points, Pibachaya on 9. Charaporn relatively quiet today, just 6 for her. And Chachuan on 7. So just about everybody that has been out there on court has contributed a good group of points. Whereas China still struggling along. Points coming from block, a few points coming from serves. It's a great hit, but it's wide. There's an exhibition hit from Hugh. But they don't count if they don't go inside the white lines. Pretty much rule number 1 in volleyball. Good work, Thailand really battling here. And they're going to get the point again. Another transgression at the net from China. Just over-eager. And the damage has been done. This is going to be a long, hard set for China now. There's the net touch from Hugh. Just got out of shape on the block. It's tough. You jump in the air and you commit to the block. You commit as if it's going to be a regular hit. But as soon as the player then stops that arm and reverts to the tip, you're left hanging in the air and reaching for the ball, and it's so easy to touch the net then. That's what Hugh did. Substitution then. Back in comes young Fang Zhao, so Gong's introduction to the game today not been as effective as it certainly was yesterday. Thailand relishing a 7-point lead, which is now 8. Touched ace. Lang Ping might burn this set soon and just chuck a load of players on from the bench. First casualty is Wang Mengji. She definitely hasn't passed well today, the libero for China. She's defended quite superbly, but her passing has been average. So Lin Li, the replacement libero, is on. Might not be the first, or the last change, sorry, that we see from China here. Still got Li Ying on the bench, still got the experienced middle blocker Wang Yuan. And Yardi, the replacement setter, may also feature. Now, did that touch Malika on the way past? China thought it did, but I don't think they're going to challenge. No, Thailand's point. Chalaporn back to the service line. Good serve. Good hit. Again, a very fast, flat pass in to Ding Jia to see a little bit more of a loop on the trajectory from the passes from the Chinese team, but on this occasion, in fact, it's Yardi, my apologies. So Yardi has come in for the starting setter for China. I said there would be casualties, and that's been the case. Lang Ping basically saying to the bench, on you go, try and save this one. If not, we'll have to do it in 4. Pick up, rather straight leg from Liu, but all to no avail. Duan has got into the Thailand block, and Plumjet, the Thailand captain, is in on the action. Great stuff, rally the match so far. And finished brilliantly. Once again, Chachuan on hand, this time through the wing. to get the ball off the Chinese block, but some super play in that rally. We're getting mega blocks and mega rallies on a fairly consistent basis at the moment between these two. It's just unbelievable from China, though. What a difference a few players make to how a team functions. Effectively, Chinese team playing -3 of the players that would normally start. 2 players away on duty with the Army, actually playing for the Army during the course of this week here in Macau, which has given Lang Ping the opportunity to get a few new players into the action. Nicely done. Duan racing in off the wing to get there just in time. Got to beat the ball as a wing player. You can't wait for the ball to come to you, because if the setter hasn't quite got it right, then you'll be struggling, and that's why you'll see all the good wing spikers accelerate into the ball. They'll be able to hit it pretty much wherever it is. Nicely done. Thailand with that massive cushion now, really able to just relax and play. Another good shot from Kachuan. Now China might get one more chance in this set. Get a run of points to put pressure on Thailand. We've seen how Thailand have responded at the end of the last 2 sets. Just don't have that winning mentality. A lot of coaches drill their teams in focus and mindset for the end of each set. So you'll have drills where you will start a couple of points up near to the end and try and play it like it is a regular game in a drill. Just try and learn to win. As most coaches will tell you, the only place where you can really ever learn that is out on court, playing top-level matches like this. But Thailand now just so far away. This is going to be a bit of a procession, this set. That was that shot from Attire earlier where she turned back inside. Everybody contributing at the moment for Thailand. Manuma and Attire on 8 points. Pipachaya has had a little run of points to get to 9. And what about Kachuan? She's taken over as the top scorer with 10. Chattaporn still there on 7. China's concern will be, what if Chattaporn starts to come into this game? Sara can start feeding the leading scorer for Thailand. This could become a tricky proposition here for the home team. For now though, Kachuan undoes some of the good work with a fault on serve. Replacement setter Yao Di on court for Ding Xia. Same thing happened yesterday against Poland, and what do you say after that? Oh dear me, I guess that was a poor serve. Yang asking for the ball. 2 thumping spikes, but still hasn't put it away. And Thailand here defending brilliantly. Hugh Mingyuan gets the block, but I promise you this is not encouraging for China, despite the celebrations. Top-class volleyball is Yang killing that first shot, not Hugh Mingyuan. last-ditch block, 7 contacts into the rally. Nice, that's more like it. That's right up there. Good block. Hugh with the shutdown, 2 in a row. Worked hard for it as well against that spike from Anthems. Good serve from Liu. Tight, well made. Charapon somehow keeping that in place. Going to get another go here. Good pick-up. Great work from China. He still can't kill this ball. Good shot from Duan, long way off the net. Bump set from the libero, and Duan composed herself and set herself really well for that shot. And China have manoeuvred themselves very quickly into some kind of range here. Certainly stopped Thailand scoring in time. This will test Thailand. They've got to show this ability to finish. Thailand bench. There always seems to be about 17 different conversations going on at once. But the focus when they come back out to the court is always superb. It's just this ability to get sets across the line, get things finished. And used one too many times. Inside split, Nutsara at full extension, so really couldn't do too much with the set. Hugh waiting for it. 3 blocks now in quick succession for Hugh Mengyuan. Nicely finished. And you know what? Sometimes in volleyball, it's just nice to go back to old school and plunge it, getting the job done. 2 veteran Thailand players combining for that score. As another one leaves the court. Double substitution as replacement setter Pornpun comes in. Chaya comes in to shore up the front court, so tall blockers in the front line for 3 rotations. Replacement setter in Gerdpad Pornpun, who will operate in those 3 backcourt positions. Expect we'll see that substitution reversed again. Familiar double sub. Nice. Really good from Yang Fangzhu to kind of hover around the back, looking like it was going to be a combination play. Here she goes, but instead the ball fed first tempo quite brilliantly by Yardi to Hugh Mengyuan for the kill. So it's 4 points for Hugh, and this will be another. No. Comes back. Still, Yang can't finish it. Duan gets the job done, but it's taking China too long to terminate points. And that's where teams like Thailand and also Japan benefit from this ability to defend and recycle the ball. And that double substitution happening a little bit quicker than I thought it would. So it's only happened for that 1 rotation. Nutsara back in. China significantly reducing the deficit. Oh, that's a shot. That's a great kill. Real ferocity in that hit. And once again, Kongyot Acharapon just proving what a great player she is. Not scored heavily in this match, but could still influence the result. just with her attacking. It was a Chadaporn's defence that kept that ball alive and eventually allowed Nutsara to feed it wide to Chatuan, who has been more and more impressive as this game has gone on. 11 points for her, and that is some hit. Going outside the opposite blocker, Yang Fangzhu. That's a good shot. And maybe that's what Yang has to think about from now, because the angle she's been hitting very hard. But generally speaking, hitting into Thailand defenders. Here, just the angle, goes high. So China back into it. 3 points to find once again for China. Oh, and there's one of them with a super block. They've gone back to that three-woman block, trying to get all three front court players out on the wing spiker. That was a monster block in more ways than one. All three front court players involved for the shutdown. And the gap closed to 2 points, and this is where Thailand have this problem. You're in a position where you should finish 100% of the time. And I know that can't always happen at this level. There's always the unknown factor of one of the world-class players turning it on for a really good service run. But with a 7-8 point advantage, you've got to be able to finish. And that's something Thailand need to consider as part of their developments on this Volleyball Nations League. So monster block gives China a chance here in this set. Someone from the Thailand team has got to step up to the mark here. Wide to Kachon. Slowed down, so in play for China. Duan can't put it away. Second time of asking, and this is good work again from both teams. Scrappy rally now. Still in play, no. And as Yang Fangzhu committed to the dive, I think maybe just a little touch from the setter Yardi, just diverted it. Yeah, there it is off the fingertips and just diverts it away from where Yang was diving to. In Sting Jia, so setters substituted. I have to say, I think that's got more to do with the set that he's going to follow if Thailand win this one than actually winning this. If China can win this set from here, it's still a bonus. Oh, they got it wide. Duan got enough on it. Through the hands of the blockers to the court. 2 points in it. Duan to serve. Thailand still with the advantage. Tight. Oh, that's cleverly done from Liu. Managed to get herself stable in the air, have a good long look at what was happening, and then with her non-favoured arm, just tipped it right across the front of the blockers. And China are nearly back in touch. That's well played from Liu. So many things could have gone wrong there. Oh, brilliant. Nutsara accelerates the ball past the middle player and out wide to Chachuan. And with a free net, she's put that away quite beautifully. 22-20 Thailand. Poor pass from China. Duan can't put it away. Chachuan gets a recycle on this one. Now, has that hit anything? China say no. Officials say no. Point to the home side, but I think Thailand are going to challenge here. They do. Asking the question, did it touch? Still, the Chinese coach is talking to their players. As far as they're concerned, they're reaching too high in the block. Blocking has to be about reaching as far over the net as you can, penetrating into your opponent's airspace. That's what gets the effective blocks. Reaching high weakens the block, makes it an easier target. Thailand using those hands and arms of the Chinese block really well. This is a huge call in the context of this set, but also this match. Chinese players immediately said no touch. Now, whether that's just age-old reaction, we'll have to see, or whether that's genuine. Gong is on, by the looks of it, coming in for Yang Fangzhou. So, as I talked about earlier, still this group of players on court that do not regularly feature for the Chinese team. Here we go. Well, through the middle, by the looks of it. No contact on Gong. And through the middle of the block, no touch, confirmed. It is China's point, and Thailand now, I think, are in a bit of trouble. It'll be Yan Ni to serve. Good pass from Thailand. Beautifully in off the wing. That's so calm and collected from the 33-year-old Malika Kanthong. Two points away from a set. China have to attack again successfully. Not quite from Liu. Charaporn can't get it past the Chinese block. She's going to get another go, though, but this time stuffed by Hu. Great kill block from Hu Mengyuan. She's been the star of this set for China, a set that looked all but gone. And somehow China have stayed in there and fought their way back to 23-22 down. They've got the serve. Thailand still with the advantage here. Gong it will be. Jump float serve. Good pass, Thailand. And that is absolutely hammered through the middle by Hataya. And it brings 2 set points for Thailand to extend this game here in Macau. Brilliant pickup. A little roll shot. China are going to have another go to put this away. And still Thailand defend. No setter for China. Bump set in the air for Gong. And great defense once again. This is rally of the tournament. Beautiful big pick-up from China. Oh, this is stunning stuff. And Thailand have earned every single point of that set win. What a final point. That was simply stunning. Another superb mega rally to grace this Volleyball Nations League. And this time, Thailand get the job done. China didn't make it easy for them. But in the end, Thailand earning everything that came to them. What a rally. 4 or 5 pickups in there. Just world class. How about that from the Chinese libero Lin? But it was all to no avail. And in the end, the ball going wide to a Charaporn, who got the job done, got the ball down, and got Thailand into a 4th set here against the Olympic champions. Great volleyball. China will be concerned. Thailand pick up a set here. Well played, Thailand. Quite a bizarre set, that one. Thailand so far ahead. And then China just chipped away at that lead, got themselves back in contention. But the final rally, I think just an indication from Thailand that they were so determined to win that. And they did. Superbly played. Let's take a look at the Thailand serve placement. Again, just tracking round some of the players on the Chinese side of the net that they feel will give them points if they can hit them hard enough. In particular, Duan has struggled in the back line. Thailand certainly serving well enough in that third set to get themselves onto the scoreboard. Now the Olympic champions have got a real test on their hands here. What they mustn't do is give up a whole host of points at the start of the set as they did in the third. Away we go with the fourth then. Duan gets us underway. Thailand score immediately. The Nutsara-Hataya combination through that middle part of the court has been really good for Thailand. Comes again. China will be getting fed up with this. And at last, the ball hits the floor. Fan Xu temporarily restored to the lineup by coach Lang Ping. Middle blocker Yan needs to serve. Well used by Acharapon. It's not always about the glamour points, it's about sometimes just winning something that doesn't look like it's going to go your way. Not the best of sets, but dispatched. This is one of those phases in the game where Thailand are going to have to be very careful. Mustn't let the momentum disappear. They did so well to take that third set. But what they mustn't do here is just let China run away with this. So have to apply themselves completely to the task in hand. And Acharapon a long way off the net is blocked. Continues her happy way through this match. If there's ever an advert for enjoying volleyball, then the number 25 for China, Yu Mengyuan, is it. Fan Xu will not have enjoyed that though. Little nervous look to the bench there to see if Lang Ping was getting Gong ready to replace her. Came on in the second for a brief period, then into the third and stayed on for the whole of the third set. And interestingly, this is as close to the Thailand team that were winning so many games 10 years ago as we've been for a while. With Malika on court, Nutsara on court, Plumjit on court. Yu again. Her points tally comfortably into double figures. Good set from Dingshan. It's a lovely replay to illustrate that slide D, and you can see what China are doing at the moment. The service target is Malika, and Liu hit her very well there. Kachuan and Pianut are passing well. Oh, it's a great serve. Little gamble there from Liu. who can vary her serves between topspin jump serve like that, and then the topspin, and then the jump float serve. But on this occasion, just using the topspin to basically lob Malika. Our coach Dane will know this is the match right here. This little period of time, because if China get away, I don't think Thailand can bring them back. And incidentally, behind the coach, quite a few players who started this Thailand program 2 decades ago, who are now very much part of the backroom staff for Thailand. Great to see that legacy. As Liu returns to the service line, she's been the best of the Chinese players in terms of her scoring stats. 15 points on the board against Duan's 13. Another point chance for China. And another super hit from Hugh. When she came on yesterday, she looked so raw, didn't look completely in control of what she was doing. But you have to trust that Lang Ping knows what she's doing, and when you see hits like that, you know exactly why Hugh is on court. Super set once again. Things looking better and better here for China after the scare of set 3. Is there anything left for the Thailand fans to celebrate? Hugh has been the points machine so far for China in this set. Taking her personal tally up to 12, but she's scored 3 points already here. Tied to a couple of decent serves from the Chinese captain, Liu. Here we go again. Liu to serve. This time, Pianut makes the pass. This will be a free ball to China. Hugh takes the pass. That's cheeky. That is really cheeky. There's absolutely no way Hugh should have passed that ball. That was going straight to the libero. But she wants to be involved in everything. Stepped off the net, passed the ball, and hit it. Good serve. Saved by Thailand. Well picked up by Yang. But not this time. One of those sinking feeling rallies as gradually the power for China just disappeared after a great serve to start. It's some pickup from Malika. And then the quality of the play from China just got worse and worse until eventually it ended up on the floor. Point Thailand. Long serve. And quite a way long from Acharapon. Not been her best game today. Sometimes that doesn't matter if you can hit the key points. I'm afraid things starting to go wrong here for Thailand. China, mostly through Hugh, are building a considerable advantage here. That's a good hit. Driving it right high up into the chest of the receiving player. Tough to pass. About everything that could have gone wrong with the final part of that rally happened, and Thailand eventually lose the point. Just not wide enough to attack that quick set. Chachuan ends up on the floor, and Anuma replaces her. First tip from Plumjit, but again it's because the set wasn't quite there. Oh, well done, Anuma. Partially constructed crossover play. But Anuma seeing enough of the court to get that deep and away from the Chinese defenders. There it goes. Very similar scoring and a very similar set to the last one, except on this occasion it's China with the big advantage, Thailand chasing. Shot. Oh, that's sweet. When a player gets it lined up, gets everything flowing through the ball, and with the kind of hitting action that Anuma has, where she caps the hand. Watch the hand go over the top of the ball here. That's superb. The Chinese block left of the space to work. Down it goes, off the block, along the net, and out of reach of any Thailand defenders. Stern look from two senior Thailand players. They know that they're in trouble now. They know they've really given too much of an advantage to China in this set. It's going to get worse. No, picked up. Well done, Acharapon. Well, I said we were going to get some stunning rallies in this match, and that's exactly what we've got. Every single set has delivered 2 or 3 mega rallies. Initial overpass. Yan Ni with that heavily strapped shoulder, just not able to hit the ball hard enough. A real mix-up there. I think the players are okay. Thailand have got to win this point because China were all over the place. Free ball chance. And there it is. Beautifully hit from Young. And now you can check, once the point's over, check that everything's okay. I think Ding Jia, as she fell to the floor there to dive for the ball, just got smacked in the back of the head or the neck by the player next to her. She's okay. Second technical timeout then of this 4th set, so a minute for the coaches to just get their point across to the players. The match stats for the new middle blocker on the team. Yu Mangyuan, number 25 for China, 14 points to her name, combination of blocks and serves and attacks like this. Given her a very good return. And Lang Ping's faith in Hu as a starter in this game has been more than rewarded. More than happy to keep setting the ball to Hu. Duan then with the serve. Oh dear. Oh, that's a frustrating point for Thailand. Acharapon with the mistake, but if you're going to shank a ball like that, you want the players around you to be looking. You've got to support your passer. Just let the ball hit the floor. Bichar is in. Placing Malika. Good serve, well dealt with by Acharapon. A nice finish. Chai managing to get that down the front of a very tall block. Young Fanju stood right next to Yanni. It's just stunning defence from Lin. And again, well, for whatever reason, Young and Yan don't seem able to coordinate that block and get it tight enough to the net. They block at +3 meters, so they're reaching as high as and over the ring on a basketball court, and they just can't seem to get the block, but it doesn't matter too much. Young Ni with the put away. Most fluid of movers, but she touches 3 meters 17, and that's why she's a great option in the middle. Yanni serves, 18-9 the advantage. Nice combination from Thailand, so still able to entertain. They're going to need a little bit more than crowd-pleasing combinations in this set. They're going to need some big serves and big blocks. No touch, say Thailand. Trying to kill the ball. I think Thailand are going to have to accept that. It did look like it had gone into the net, but that can be deceptive sometimes. Even if half of the ball is above the net tape, it can still touch the blocker's hand. To 9 points the advantage. Back to Young Fengzhu with the serve. And China mustn't take the foot off the accelerator here. Chai. Good serve. Women's net height lower than the men's net height, 224, and I've often had this discussion before. Sometimes male teams have challenged female teams to matches or vice versa, and the temptation, I think, for the women's teams is to play over a men's height net, but actually if you play over a women's height net and serve as well as that, it's frighteningly difficult to pass. The ball drops very quickly as it passes over the net. A lot. Quality of the service reception usually so good, but watch this ball go. That drops like a stone and moves. That is a very, very tough pass to make. Can she do it again? And Pachai, no, this time drops like a stone into the net. Go. Been around for years with the Thailand programme, so he pretty much knows the script from here, and unless one of his players can find something special, this is China's match to lose. 19-12. Cut down the line by Duan. Missed, going for the hands or the line. Didn't get either. She's played this game, whole of this game, with her label out the back of her shirt. Surprised her teammate hasn't tucked that in yet. Chatterporn, good serve. Oh, wow. That's a super hit. And this link between Ding Xia and Hu Mengyuan has been really impressive today. Takes off from one leg, which is unusual in volleyball. That's the only attack at slide D where that happens. Always the players taking off from 2 legs, 2 feet. Nice over on 2. Backup setter on court, so be Nutsara's last contribution to this game. She's back on the bench. Gurpad Pornpun, who is the future setter for Thailand, is back on court. Good finish. I know what you're going to do. I can see it coming, but can I stop it? The answer on that occasion, no. Yunni up there with that 3m17 contact point. And that's way over the top of the two blockers that were facing her. Nicely played, 3 blockers up. That means there's a gap in the front court. Why not use it? Lindley a little bit disappointed with herself because that's her part of the court to control. Back to the service line. 7 points in it. Still a sniff here for Thailand, and a couple more quick points. Put a bit of pressure on the home team, and you never know. In all honesty, China really shouldn't lose from here. Point chance here for Thailand. Bachaya does that very nicely. Waited for the blocker to show the hand, and then just wiped it off. Little tip off the hand and out. Watch Duan go very early here, and there's the target. Bachaya using it well. Gong back in for Yang Fengzhu. Dear. Well, China get away with it. Yeah, they really do. Thailand should have punished them there. The overpass was there to be hit. China defending it, then getting the kill, and maybe that's Thailand's last chance in this match. Now, there's the overpass. Not a great pass from Liu, and Attaya didn't finish it. Duan, though, did. Duan to serve. 2 points required for China. Easy finish for Yunni. And this excellent challenge from Thailand, unfortunately, just starting to fail in set 4. Match points then, and plenty of them for China. And they can't do it with an ace or a block. They've got to go again. Oh, emphatic kill from Gong. At last gets a chance to shine, and she's hammered that on the floor. Well, full marks once again from Thailand, the past masters at asking the questions with their defensive brilliance. And on this occasion, it was good enough to see China stumble in the 3rd set. But the Olympic champions came back strongly in the 4th. Thailand's challenge faded. And China winning this last set, 25-17, to take the match here in Macau by 3 sets to 1. Good scrap from Thailand to keep that last point alive. But Gong it was that applied the finishing touch in style. Super hit. China have their win then here in Macau after the disappointment of yesterday's 5-set defeat at the hands of Poland. They come through this one against Thailand by 3 sets to 1. And now have to face Serbia with their 2 wins from 2 here in Macau in tomorrow's final day of action. Another cracking match. The Thailand players go over to acknowledge the support that they've had here in Macau. Once again, just coming up short when it really mattered in the big parts of the game. For China, though, very solid performance when it mattered. Another superbly entertaining game on the FIVB Volleyball Nations League. In the end, going China's way, managing to outscore Thailand and eventually beating them by 3-1. But it was a cracking match, and Thailand once again pushing China all the way. But the Olympic champions have got the win here in Macau in front of the home crowd, and it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for being part of the game.
The number is B004671. B004671. B004671 有冇人中啊？冇啊，你再出。
中獎號碼係 B005376，B005376，B005376。
The number is B005376. B005376.
B005376。
B005376。我哋再收。我同呢個朋友就有。有人中咗。咁麻煩工作人員咧，盡快同佢過嚟呢個領獎台。咁跟住咧，第二獎係澳門 JW 萬豪酒店豪華客房住宿平日一晚同2人早餐。The second prize is one night weekly stay in deluxe room at JW Marriott Hotel Macau with breakfast for 2 persons.